when her 9-year-old is unmedicated. It's a real brain chemistry dysfunction, proven by the fact that powerful stimulants used to treat ADHD usually slow these kids down.
People who have untreated ADHD can have difficulty as they get older with other psychiatric diagnoses such as depression, with chemical dependency, and potentially with other activities that could get them in trouble with the law.
Now, for the first time, a small battery-powered device offers a non-drug treatment. It's a small electrode patch connected to a battery-powered stimulator. It's worn on the forehead, usually overnight, and that triggers branches of the sensory trigeminal nerve. It seems that those low-level electrical impulses travel along the nerves deep into the brain, where they're thought to interact with nearby brain structures that affect hyperactivity. The head of the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation says, while it's not clear how this affects hyperactivity, we do know that behavioral brain circuits are complex.
And by affecting those circuits, sometimes with electrical stimulation.
Now that you've heard the propaganda, let us translate what all of this actually means, ladies and gentlemen.
When her 9-year-old is unmedicated.
When the child is unmedicated, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a real brain chemistry dysfunction, proven by the fact that powerful stimulants used to treat ADHD usually slow these kids down.
So giving the kids powerful drugs, the fact that that slows them down, that's proof that ADHD is real. That the cause of these children's hyperactivity is a real mental disorder, ladies and gentlemen. So they must be drugged. There is no other choice. Perhaps the real problem with attention deficit disorder is the fact that children are trained to have an attention span of a goldfish because they play video games all day and they're in a whole, different kind of world that normal humans are, used to being brought up in. And they're, kids these days are given like this artificial food. It's like, that's what candy and most of the junk that kids eat these days is. It's artificial food. They're jacked up on sugar. And then they give them drugs that messes up their brain chemistry, messes up the wiring during the developmental stage, ladies and gentlemen, causing permanent damage. So there's no going back to normal. Oh, they got a case now. Now listen to fucking Dr. Freud over here.
People who have untreated ADHD can have difficulty as they get older with other psychiatric diagnoses such as
other psychiatric diagnoses. I mean, this guy looks like he is, on the list of psychiatric disorders somewhere. Let's just find one out of the DSM and prescribe some drugs. I'm sure he'll feel better.
Depression, with chemical dependency, and potentially with...
Psychiatry tries to list every type of, possibility as an imbalance of chemicals in the brain. If you're depressed, it must be imbalance. If you're fat, it must be an imbalance. You're missing some sort of chemical. We have what you need. This will fix it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a dark road, like Requiem for a Dream. It's a dark road each and every time. These people are drug pushers.
Other activities that could get them in trouble with the law.
Now, for the first time, a small battery power.
What do you think gets people in trouble with the law? Do you think it might be the music, the movies, and what they're being taught in schools, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think that might be drawing them towards the dark side?
Our device offers a non-drug treatment. It's a small electrode patch connected to a battery-powered stimulator. It's worn on the forehead, usually overnight, and that triggers branches of the sensory trigeminal nerve. It seems that those low-level electrical impulses travel.
Low level, like extremely low frequency, low level. If a cell phone causes cancer, what do you think this thing is going to do? They're lobotomizing the people. Check out this
diagram. Deep into the brain, where they're thought to interact with nearby brain structures.
I'm seeing the Slaughterbots animation for some reason, but with like electromagnetic waves.
Structures that affect hyperactivity. The head of the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation says, while it's not clear how this affects hyperactivity,
it's not clear how it affects hyperactivity, but it seems to, impact behavior like a lobotomy, and it seems to be an improvement.
You know that behavioral brain circuits are complex.
And by affecting those circuits, sometimes with electrical stimulation,
they're zapping the brains of children now, ladies and gentlemen, as a cure to a disease that's caused by the food that you eat. That's the plan. That's the trap. You eat their poisons, and then you have to go and get the medicine. So it's like a problem reaction solution. It's like a Gladio B event, but at the grocery store. And everybody is being impacted here, ladies and gentlemen. You should see all of the people that are basically devolving into zombies out there. It's horrific. Like never seen before, especially in these big cities. It's like the zombie apocalypse. And now the solution is to lobotomize yourself while you sleep. Strap this on while you sleep. I'd like to take an EMF reading of this particular gadget just to see how many milligauss and whatever else types of radiation this thing is putting out. But they're selling it like the new wonder drug. It's like the 5G. It's like everything else out there. It's untested. But what we know so far is that this stuff is catastrophic. And right now, when you see their approach to medicine, ladies and gentlemen, treating the side effects of their eugenics program as a disease, and pushing, drugs as the cure, you can tell that these people have their hearts in the wrong place, ladies and gentlemen. No wonder, people in the holistic, medical fields are disappearing. It's a monopoly. It's a racket, just like everything else out there these days, ladies and gentlemen. When are we going to get some justice? When are we going to get some due process out there? Everything seems to be, just the inverse, the flip side, the mirror image of what it actually should be, ladies and gentlemen. They promote evil as good, good as evil, men as women, women as men, Christians and white people are being discriminated against for no particular reason, ladies and gentlemen. It's starting to look like South Africa out there. It's going to be Machu Picchu before you know it. And look, it's right there on the Georgia Guidestones. Be a hater if you want to. Till the next time. If you're listening to this, you are the resistance.